Okay, so today is Tuesday the 5th, okay, October the 5th. Again, write your first and last name at the top of your packet. Okay, we're getting the packet today on the 5th. The assignments that are due this week, we have, make sure I have this, we have our warm up. Don't forget that we're counseling out Monday and Friday, okay? So our warm ups that we're doing this week will be the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's going to be due Friday, okay? If you're absent, uh, then you watch the daily videos so that you can catch up on the work. Bless you. Your homework is due Friday. Make sure that you submit everything by Friday, okay? You have a short quiz. It's a very, very short quiz on equations. Short quiz on equations and inequalities on Friday. It's very, very short because we have other things that we have to do, okay? To prepare for that quiz, please make sure that you study your notes in your interactive notebook. I have a tutoring session tomorrow, tutoring. It's virtual. The virtual link is on the Canvas page. It's going to be at 2:40 p.m. That's Wednesday, 2:40 p.m. Okay? So when you get home, you can log into the Canvas page and click on the virtual link. Okay? When you come to the tutoring session, please make sure that you have your homework packet and your interactive notebook. Okay? Please make sure you have those things and some scrap paper because we don't want to waste any time. We'll do probably about 45 minutes and then I'll let you go. Okay? Yesterday, we went over week 6 work because I was absent last week. The homework yesterday, I told you only thing I wanted you to do was makeup work. Okay, so anything that's missing, you could have worked on that yesterday. Anything that you didn't get a chance to complete from last week, you could have completed that yesterday, okay, last night. Today, we're going to write down our EQs. We're going to do the warm-up. And we have some notes on multi-step equations. That's in our interactive, that we're going to put in our interactive notebook when we finish. But we got to finish. It's a cut and paste type thing, so we have to finish it first before we paste it in our notebook. If we don't finish it, then we'll just put it in our folder and we'll finish it tomorrow. Our homework tonight is to work on I Ready lesson. You need to complete an I Ready lesson. Okay, remember, if I did not tell you already, you will have an I Ready project. Your I Ready project is super simple. It is due October the 22nd. You have plenty of time. It's only 3 lessons. Okay, 3 lessons. One of them is the teacher assigned lesson I gave you last week. So if you didn't complete that lesson, you need to go back and make sure that you complete that lesson. Okay. You can do that lesson tonight for homework because that's all I want you to work on tonight is an I Ready lesson. Okay. You must complete 3 I Ready lessons for this project, which is due. You got plenty of time. It's due October the 22nd. Okay. Any questions about that? All right, let's write down our essential questions. Anybody still copying this part before I move? Okay, I'll pause for the calls. All right. The essential questions: describe how to solve multi-step equations. Describe how to solve multi-step equations. These are in your notes, page 23. If you need a hint to where the answer would be, this is in your interactive notebook, page 23. Okay, so please go back and look in your interactive notebook, page 23. Okay, the second question is describe how to solve inequalities. And yeah, let's leave it there. Describe how to solve, really, it's multi-step inequalities. Describe how to solve multi-step inequalities. And we'll start working on that tomorrow. Describe how to solve multi-step inequalities. Yes. I can't hear it all. You know? Okay.
She's missing the notes from like last week.
They're on Canvas. All of the notes are on Canvas. All right, so let's work on, there we go. Let's work on the warm-up. Let's cross out Monday. Okay, I want you to treat this as if it was an equal sign here. I want to see what you can come up with on your own. I'm going to give you a minute or two to do this. And then I want to give you some time to see if you can get this done as well. Okay, so let's do maybe 3 minutes to see what you can get. Okay, please, you already know I'm going to give you the correct answers. I just need for you to respond. Okay, I'm going to walk around with my stamp. I'm only going to stamp if you're trying. If you're not trying, I'm not going to stamp it. Okay, I need you to try to work this out. We're going to cross out, make sure, don't worry about Monday, and don't worry about the Friday one either. Okay? All right. We'll pause for the calls, give you about 3 minutes. All right, so let's see what we got. Here, in this problem, which most of us did this first step correctly. Remember, you have to solve for x, so that means you got to get rid of the -8 and the -4. -8 you get rid of first because that's the easiest to get rid of. You add or subtract. Anything you add or subtract to move, that's what you get rid of first. So here, in order to get rid of a negative or a -8, the opposite of a -8 is to add 8. So now when you add 8 to both sides, this gives me 0. And I'm left with this -4x. Bring down the less than sign. What's 56 plus 8? Come on, let's count. 56, 64. Okay. So now here, look. The operation that's between a -4 and a variable is multiplication. This is multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? So in order to get rid of this 4 or -4 that's attached by multiplication, you have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is to divide both sides by that number. So whatever that number is, you divide both sides to get rid of it. A negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. 4 divided by 4 gives us a 1. So this is a positive 1x or just x. Please write that down. Because you divided both sides by a negative number, this inequality is going to flip. So now instead of it being less than, it's going to be greater than. Okay, so what is, anybody know, what is 64 divided by a -4? We know our answer is going to be negative. Does anybody remember what 64 divided by 4 is? Any guesses? Come on.
You said what?
64, not 8. -16. Okay, so this is going to be our answer. All right, so let's look at this. It says if the angle S, find S, R, this is R, Q, SRQ is 110. This right here is 110 degrees. What is the measure of SRP? This right here. What's the degrees of a straight line? 180. Now, a right angle is like this, like a box. This is a 90 degree. This is 90 degrees. But a complete straight line is 180 degrees. Okay. All right. So how do we figure out what the measurement of this side is? If a straight line from here all the way to here is 180 and part of it is 110. Go ahead. Very good. 180 minus 110. What's 180 minus 110? So this is 70. 70 degrees there. So 70 is our answer here. Pause for the cause to give you a chance to write. Okay, let's look and see. Remember, I told you tonight's homework is already. So let's relabel the back homework. You please scratch out Monday. This is going to be Wednesday's homework. Please scratch out Tuesday. That's going to be Thursday. What are you doing tonight for homework? I ready. Okay. So as you can see, tomorrow we'll be working on inequalities, okay? All right, any questions? Okay, let's go ahead and put this in our folder so we don't lose it. Please put it in your folder. And I'm going to pass out 2 sheets that we're going to work on. Okay, so let's look at these. We are going to solve these problems, and we're going to put them in the right category. Let's look at these categories. These are there are 3 types of solutions that you can have with an equation. You can get one answer as a solution. This is when you get one answer. Like x is equal to 7, or x is equal to a negative 2, or x is equal to 55. Go ahead, babe. None is when you get a false answer. That means the variables cancel out and both sides are not equal to each other. So when you get a false answer, it's no solution. There's no solution there, or none. Infinitely many is when you get a true answer, okay? When the variables cancel out and both sides are equal. So these two, the variables cancel out. And either the math sentence is false or it's true. If it's false, it's a no solution. If it's true, that means it's infinitely many solutions. So this is when the variables cancel out, and you're going to see that in the examples that we're going to do. So there are 3 types of solutions. I should have put 3 types of solutions. You get one answer. X is equal to 10. N is equal to 50. P is equal to 74. That means you have one answer, and that's the only answer it could be. None means that the variables are gone now, and the numbers that are left are not equal to each other. That's no solution. Infinitely many solutions when the variables cancel out and both sides happen to be equal to each other, like 7 is equal to 7 or 10 is equal to 10. That means there's infinitely many solutions. That means any number that you put in is going to work for that equation. All right, so let's look. Let's put this to the side and let's do these. These are going to be different types of solutions. We're going to solve these. All right, first things first, the first thing that we do here, and I'm looking at my notes in our interactive notebook from page 23. Okay, our notes from page 23. The first thing we do is distributive property. So we're going to look for distributive property first. And we do have a number that's in front of the parentheses here. It's a negative 3 over 5. So we're going to multiply a negative 3 over 5 times both the x and times the 15. Please use that arrow because I'm telling you that you're going to multiply this 3 over 5 times both numbers in the parentheses. Okay, so use your arrow. You're going to multiply this negative 3 over 5 times x and this negative 3 over 5 times 15. That's distributive property. Okay, please put that in. Come on, I need you to do what I do, okay? You're going to multiply negative 3 over 5 times the x, and you're going to multiply negative 3 over 5 times the 15. That's distributive property. Good. Yes. You're going to multiply. You did it. All right, good deal. Okay, so now let's multiply. When we multiply a negative 3 over 5 times x, we get a negative 3 over 5x. Please write that. Then let's multiply negative 3 over 5 times 15. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do it on pencil and paper. You don't have to write this part. I'm going to do this for you. And then I'm going to show you how to type it in the calculator. Yes. Oh, I thought you was raising your hand. So you're going to multiply a negative, watch Miss Reyes, 3 over 5 times 15. It's a positive 15. Please watch what I do. I put a 1 under the 15. Very good, babe. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. What is negative 3 times 15? Negative 45. Good job. What is 5 times 1? 5. Let's reduce this. What's negative 45 divided by 5? What kind of 9? Negative 9. So that's what we're going to write here. This is minus 9. Okay? Bring everything else down. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the 3. Bring down this 9. Okay? Okay, Ms. Reyes, after I do distributive property, what's next? Again, we're going back and looking at page 23. These are steps. It says, number 2, combine like terms on each side of the equal sign separately. Okay? So I'm going to look at each side of the equal sign to see what I can combine together. Let's look at this side of the equal sign. Anything over here that can be combined together? The 9 and negative 9. What's 9 minus 9? 0. So this is gone. 9 minus 9 is 0. So then what am I left with, Ms. Reyes? I'm left with this negative 3 over 5 x is equal to what on this side? 3. Please write that down. Write this down. Write this down. Come on, Kevin. Okay, so what's next now, Ms. Reyes? What's next now? Okay. All right, so here you need to get rid of this negative 3 over 5 that's attached to x by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. But the only way to divide a fraction is to multiply by its reciprocal. So look at this. Just watch me do this. We have negative 3 over 5. And we talked about reciprocal before. Reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 3 over 5? Negative 3 over 5, sorry. Very good. It's still going to be a negative, and all you're going to do is flip. See? The numerator is going to become the denominator, and the denominator is going to become the numerator, but it's still going to be negative. So that's reciprocal. You just flip the numerator and the denominator. So when you see a problem like this, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So you're going to multiply this side by negative 5 over 3. And you're going to multiply this side times a negative 5 over 3. Okay? All right. So now look. Just watch me when I do this. This is going to cancel out and leave you with x. Why, Ms. Reyes? Why does that work? Okay, look. negative 5 over 3 times negative 3 over 5. First of all, a negative times a negative is a positive. So this is going to be a positive answer here. What's 5 times 3? 15. What's 3 times 5? 15. What's 15 divided by 15? 1. So that's why you have just one x here. Or just leave it as x. Okay? Just leave this side as x. Now let's figure out what this side is. We have 3 times a negative 5 over 3. To multiply this, what do you think I have to do first? Put a 1 under this 3. Now what do I do? Multiply how? Straight across. What's a 3 times a negative 5? Negative 15 on the top. What's 1 times 3, sorry? 3. So when I simplify this, what's negative 15 divided by 3? 5. What kind of 5? Negative 5. Good job. So your answer here is negative 5. Okay, Ms. Reyes, what kind of solution is this? This has one answer. So this is a one solution. Because it has one answer. And what is that answer? Negative 5. Negative 5 is that answer. It's only one single answer for this problem. And that one single answer is negative 5. Okay? Any questions about this? All right. Let's look at the next one. Again, what did we say the first step was? What's the first step? Distributive property. That's the very first step. So let's look for distributive property. Over here, there is no distributive property over here. On this side, we do have distributive property. This is a minus 2, so that's negative 2. And you're going to multiply negative 2 times both numbers in the parentheses. Look at the number in front of it. Is it a positive or negative? This is a negative or a minus. So you're going to multiply both numbers by that negative 2. Okay? Guys, please focus. All right, so look at this. You're going to bring this down. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the F. Now let's multiply. Negative 2 times a positive 5. What does that give us? That's negative 10, so that's minus 10. Negative 2 times a positive 3F. Negative 6F. That's distributive property. That's the first thing that we do is distributive property if they have it. What is the second step? Anybody remember the second step without me showing it? Combine like terms. Very good, babe. Combine like terms on each side of the equal sign separately. It's right there on page 23. Okay, so let's look at this side. Can we combine these two terms together? No. Let's look on this side of the equal sign. Can we combine any of these terms together? Yes. What can we combine together? Very good. The F's. We got 1F minus 6F. What is 1F? I'm going to write this down. What is 1F or F minus 6F? What's 1 minus 6? Come on. Negative 5F. Okay? So we got negative 5F. So on this side, this is negative 5F. Bring down the minus 10. Okay? Bring down this equal sign and bring down the 4 minus 5F. Okay? Bring it down. Does anybody remember? Come on, keep up with me. You need me to pause? Okay. Does anybody remember what the next step is without me showing it? After you combine like terms on each side separately, what's the very next step? Move. Very good. Move the variables to the same side now. You're going to move those variables to the same side. Okay? So it doesn't matter which one I move because they're both the same. So let's move this negative 5f by doing the opposite of minus 5f. We want to move the whole thing, not detach it. We want to move the whole thing. So in order to move a minus 5f to the other side, what do you have to do? Add it. That's the only way to move the whole thing, is to add 5f on both sides. You're moving it. You're not detaching it. You're moving the whole thing. Okay? This is gone. Negative 5f plus 5f is 0. So you're left with 4 on this side. Negative 5f plus 5f is 0 on this side. So you are left with negative 10. The variables are gone. So you're not going to have just one answer because the variables are gone. Is this true or is this false? It's false. 4 is not equal to negative 10. Put a line through it. A line through an equal sign is not equal. This is definitely false. So what does that mean when it's false? There's absolutely no solution. Is there a solution? No. There's none. No solution. Or none. There's not an answer that will work. All right, so now we're going to do one step at a time to see if you can get each step, okay? Let's look at this one. First thing is distributive property. So we're going to distribute. We're going to distribute the 9, positive 9, to both numbers in the parentheses. We're going to distribute this 3 to both numbers in the parentheses. Distributive property is first. So you're going to multiply 9 times 2a and then 9 times a positive 3. Go ahead and do that on your own. See if you can do that on your own, please. All you're doing is the first step, distributive property. What does that give you? What's 9 times 2a? 18a. What's 9 times 3? 27. Good job. Bring everything down on this side. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about this one. You're going to multiply 3 times both numbers in the parentheses. What does that give you? Write it here. Somebody said 9a plus 6. You multiply 3 times both numbers in the parentheses. Very good. Now what do I do? What is my next step? After I do distributive property, can anybody remember what step 2? Combine like terms on each side. So look on this side. Is there anything over here that I can combine together? Okay. What's 27 minus 30? Negative 3. Bring this down. Let's see about this side. Is there anything over here that we can combine together over here? No, they're not like terms. Okay. Now, what's the next step? I distribute. I combine like terms on each side. What will be the third step? Does anybody remember without me telling you? Yes. We did combine like terms. Move the variables to the same side. Good. So I'm going to move the smaller one. This is smaller. 9a is smaller than 18a. How do I move? I'm going to move the whole thing. I'm not going to detach it. I'm moving it. So I either add or subtract to move the whole thing, not detach it. So how do I move a positive, this whole thing, a positive 9a to the other side? How do I move it? You subtract it. It's a positive, so you're going to subtract it to move the whole thing. You want to move the whole thing. What's 18A minus 9A? 9A. Bring down the minus 3. Bring down the equal sign. 9A minus 9A is what? 0. So this is gone, and I'm left with what over here? The 6. Good job. Okay. The last step is to isolate the variable. It's email, sorry. It's isolate the variable. What do I get rid of first? The 9 or the negative 3? The negative 3. Get rid of anything you can add or subtract to remove. How do I remove a minus 3? I add 3 to both sides. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so I'm left with this 9A. What's 6 plus 3? 9. Last thing, in order to get rid of the 9 that's attached to A, I got to detach it. How do I get rid of the 9? I divide this 9. This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. When I divide 9 on this side, that gives me A is equal to what? 1. So you do have a solution here. Your answer is 1, and it's only one solution. Very good. Very good, baby. You only have one answer here. You only have one answer here, and that one answer is 1. All right, let's do this real quick and go to lunch. All right, first thing is distributive property. We're going to multiply. See if you can do that. Let's do, what's negative 4 times 6? Negative 24. What's a negative times a negative, y'all? This is going to be a positive. What's 4 times Q? 4Q. Bring down the plus 4. Bring down the equal sign. Bring everything else on this side. Bring it down. Please write this down. What's next? After distributive property, what's the next thing we're going to do? Combine like terms. Anything to combine over here? Negative 24 plus 4. What's negative 24 plus 4? Negative 20. Bring this down. We combine these. Can we combine anything on this side? No. What's the next step? What do we have to do next? Move the variables to the same side. You see how this is a positive 4Q? We want to move the whole thing, not detach it, move the whole thing. How do I move a positive 4Q? Subtract 4Q on both sides. Okay. What's 4Q minus 4Q? 0. So on this side, we're left with what? Negative 20. On this side, what's 4Q minus 4Q? 0. So what are we left with on this side? Negative 20. Is this true or false? This is true. So what kind of solution do you think this is? Infinitely many. Oops, sorry, y'all. IN. That means any number you put in is going to work. Infinitely many. All right, we're going to pause for the call so we can line up for lunch. I don't know. All right, here we go. Say again, baby. Go ahead. All right, let's look at this. Distributive property is first. So let's distribute. We got positive 4. We're going to multiply it times both numbers in the parentheses. So here we're going to say positive 4 times n, which is positive 4n. Then positive 4 times 2 It's positive 8. Bring everything else down. Okay? Distributive property is first. Combine like terms now. You can combine 1 and 8, which is 9. Now we're going to move the variables to the same side. Move this over here. This leaves me with 9 on this side and 0 on this side. This is false. So this is no solution. Or none. See if you can do this one on your own, okay? See if you can do the other one on your own. Put this in your folder and we'll finish up tomorrow.